In one of your videos on your YouTube channel, you spoke about how persons can achieve the things they want in their life and be successful. And I think you said it in the video as well that people probably wouldn't have expected the answer that you gave, but you spoke a lot about doing that internal work, and you spoke about, I felt like it had a kind of spiritual tone to it in terms of forgiveness and letting go of certain things and certain painful areas in your life. And I just thought that was so interesting, and I'm curious to know what are some of the things, if it's not too deep, or if it's not too personal that you don't want to share. But what are some of the things that you really had to reflect on and let go that you think really helped you propel forward and achieve the greatness that you knew you were capable of?
So one of the areas was in terms of forgiveness for me. One of the courses or personal development courses that I took in 2020 was called Manifestation Masterclass. And, I knew that I was doing a lot, but I always, I never want to be in the place where I think that, my success or where I'm in life, it's because of me, myself, right? Everyone has a spiritual element to them. Whatever they believe in, it is their right. It is, in them, in every person, right? They have that spiritual element, and what they believe in ultimately shows up in their lives, right? So if you believe that, okay, I really can't do this, I don't have the abilities, people may say so, but I don't believe in myself as much as people want to, think. And you know and when you say that, then that is what happens. It shows up in the way you live. You will not be there for every, be there visible, and you will shrink, right? So I knew that I wanted to um, work on myself, use that year to work on myself. And so in that manifestation masterclass, it showed me the power of having a routine, right? Because part of the class was to journal, to pray, to have that time for yourself, like every single morning. You know, years before I would do it one day, next week, yeah, maybe, that level of dedication. And it's the persons that you see that have that level of dedication towards something, you see their life takes a certain order, So learning to do that was something that really helped me. Forgiveness was also a major part of that manifestation masterclass. We had a whole process of forgiveness. You may not think forgiveness has a process, but it does, because you can't move on in one area if you don't cover a certain area. So let's say someone hurt you, right? The first thing you have to realize is that was I the problem, for that hurt, right? You have to, if you will, then you have to deal with yourself. You also have to deal with the feelings. You have to deal with, okay, how am I moving on from this situation? Am I going to speak to that person again? So there's, other persons involved. It could be a group. It could, be, friends, family, whoever. So going through a forgiveness process not only helps you, to really change that mindset and be okay with yourself. It also helps the other person, because ultimately they would know, okay, that if they affect what you do, right? So that forgiveness was another, major part for me in terms of, moving forward in my life. Accountability. I didn't have that before. I would do everything, proof my own stuff, but I also joined a community of other women entrepreneurs that really helped push me and to keep me accountable to do what I said that I wanted to do. So I would say those three things, getting that routine, having that accountability, and really looking deep within for any forgiveness that you have to do to ensure that you are free and, just ready to move on.
Sorry, how long was that course?
No, it's very short. Oh, how
No, how
long?
long was the master class that you did?
Oh, it was 12 weeks. 12 weeks.
Okay. And the forgiveness activity that you had to do, was it like when you did it, was it like something you didn't even realize that you had to forgive that actually came up for you?
Yeah, I knew that I had to forgive, some persons. I knew that I had to forgive myself. Um, and I really didn't know how to do that. I knew that I had to do it. I didn't know how to do it. What I thought it was really wasn't. So yeah, it took me quite a few weeks to go through that process. Because when unforgiveness is present in your life, it's like an invisible shield that can block you from, moving into another room or from seeing something past a certain door, So it's a real important area that we all should take a look at, because sometimes we feel as though we don't have to do that, or we don't have anybody to forgive, or even ourselves, right? But we really need to try to find it because it is there in some form, and deal with it so that you can move on.
And how would you articulate that connection between uh, forgiveness and releasing those things and achieving what you want to achieve in business? Like, how would you articulate the connection?
Yeah, I would say it's a real strong connection, because when unforgiveness is present in your life, then it means that you are choking, something is being choked and not being released. And the connection with business, it should always be free flowing and connected. So if one part is not connected, then it is disjointed. And business it's like a holistic experience. So many persons don't realize how spiritual business is in itself. And if the owner is disconnected from the business, then you have two separate entities, and two separate entities could never, come together and be one. Right? So, in order for yourself and your business to become one, then you need to like remove that wall of unforgiveness. Now, for many years, I could take myself as an example, that I didn't forgive myself. I thought, I was to blame for my business not succeeding. I had to realize that there were many things in play. Yes, there were things that I did not do, that could have, caused a different outcome. But there were many things that I did do that I, was not looking at. And so using myself as an example and forgiving myself and saying, hey, I had to literally talk myself and say, you could do this. You were once there, once successful, and you did do most things right. And the things that you didn't do right, we are going to make sure that we don't make those mistakes again, right? So yeah, so it's a whole connection.
So getting into your planner now, well, first off, like visually, it's stunning. And
Yes.
I just and I just wanted to actually just look at the design aspect of it.
Mhm.
I don't know if you could maybe just show us on screen a little bit.
Yeah.
Um,
So
so
I have it
person,
right here on my desk. Like I look at this thing every day. I am always in awe of how this turned out. Um,
yeah,
I had the idea of what I wanted. I did a lot of research on sizes, on pages, on designs and stuff, and the vibe that I wanted was classy, luxurious, yet Caribbean themed. you
yes,
know, certain elements that you see here, like the orchid. It. I don't know if you have orchids, but it's one more on the expensive, luxurious side of flowers. And that's how I wanted my woman who got this planet to feel that they deserve this orchid. They are orchids. They are luxurious. They deserve to be paid well. And the Caribbean leaves and all of that. So Cassia, Henry, and I, we brainstormed and came up with this design. And when I designed this, I didn't even think that they were going to put the foil around the circle here, but the printer, they said, you could have this in foil, and the sample was so beautiful. I said yes. So everything just worked. It worked out. It was a lot of work, but it really, really worked out.